Paul wrote in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 8, "And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content." He was happy with having some clothes and some food on, and that was about what he needed to be content. So it's interesting that sometimes we don't realize that our being, who we are as a person, doesn't have very much to do with our actual socioeconomic status. It doesn't really actually have anything to do with our intelligence. It doesn't have so much to do with wealth and status and what we build and what legacy we think we're leaving behind to whoever we think is actually going to care. Our being is in Jesus Christ. That's hard for us to kind of settle in our mind. Because once we leave the door here, all the other things in the world are going to pop up. Before you even get out the door, you're going to see 1,000,001 advertisements, notifications. You're going to hear about all kinds of wonderful ideas that are going to get you wealthy, that are going to make you happy, that are somehow going to fill some kind of gap. And you're going to realize very quickly that that's not going to happen. You're going to realize, like the writer of Ecclesiastes, that you're chasing after a vapor, something you can't even grasp. It says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 11 and 13, here is the formula for being content. Paul is writing to the Philippians and he says, "Not that I'm speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Paul is not defined by what he has or doesn't have. It goes both ways, by the way. Some people have defined themselves by being poor. They say being poor is a wonderful thing. No, not necessarily. Ask some poor people. They're usually not that happy. Paul also realized that having everything doesn't help you either. Ask some rich people. It's not what makes you who you are. The essence of who we are, especially as Christians, is in that last verse. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Who's the him? Jesus Christ. That's the difficulty with trying to chase after things that will never be able to fill the gap that God has purposely put in our hearts. It's not going to come from your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend or from your relationships online or from friends or family. There's always this gap that we're trying to fill. We get to the top of the mountain and we go, that's it? Someone actually said that. They actually climbed all the way up to Mount Everest, which is 1.5 feet, and actually commented and said, that's it? Can you believe taking that much risk, that much training to get up there, take a selfie and go, that's it? You've missed the point, haven't you? You missed the point.